Hey guys, this is James Blonde. During PAX Prime, I sat down with Andy from Cryptic Studios to talk about Neverwinter. During the press event, Andy shows us the Foundry, the tool used to allow players to create custom content for the game. And needless to say, Neverwinter is really taking a unique approach on player-generated content, and Andy shares us how it all comes together.
So, what we're showing here in the press booth is the Foundry, which is the name of our user-generated content tool suite. Like I said before, we are a full-featured MMO. We're right here in Protector's Enclave, which is one of our major social areas. And you can create content for our game. And you'll actually see it here in action. Right now, this quest giver right here is just a normal NPC. The mission that we made before the show selected him to be a mission context. So now if I'm playing the game, I open my journal. Just like any cryptic mission, I have the mission in my journal. It also appears in my mission tracker. I have the waypoints working, our in-game indicator of where your quest is. All of that stuff works exactly the same as if it were a cryptic mission. If you were running around in the zone next to me as well, I could team up with you, share that mission. All of it works 100% like normal cryptic missions. So we'll come up and we'll talk to this guy later. Some of the ways that you can get into the Foundry content, we have our landing page here, which will come up every time you log into the game. You can see things like your guild message of the day, some of your auction mail, that sort of stuff, right? We also prominently feature a Foundry section, so we will go out of our way to highlight, hey, these are some really cool Foundry missions that the community has made. You should check them out. So you go and say, okay, once we get rid of errors, you can browse it and say accept. And just like any other normal mission, I already had that one, so let's pick a different one. We get crest accepted, it appears in your journal, all that fun stuff happens automatically. If you're looking for like a less meta way to get into it, you're not just browsing the UI, you go into your local tavern or any other social area and hit up the job board and you can access it as well. There's also well-informed people scattered throughout the area, and in this case it's the barmaid in Protector's Enclave. And she'll give you a subset of all of the missions that are available, but those that are located in and around the area you're at currently. So say you're in the Drow Zone and you're really digging all that content there, you can go up to that character's, that contact, and she'll give you just content for that area. So a more thematic way to kind of get in there and see what's the rumors for this area, what's going on. So that's a basic of how to get into that content. Really trying to make it accessible in terms of how you get to it, how you consume it, that sort of thing. Accessibility is kind of our keyword for not only that end, but also the creation end too. So we'll hop into the editor and we'll show you just how easy it is to get started making things. And first off, one of the things that we're really excited about with this editor is it's not a separate executable. It's not something you have to run in some other crazy folder that you're trying to figure out how it all works. You just hop into the Foundry straight from character selection and you're ready to go. So we'll make a new project here, demo test. And you'll hear me mention a lot throughout this demo that there's always a fast and easy way to do something, but there's still that complexity and control, depth of control if you really want to dig in and mess around with things. But that primary goal of accessibility kind of rules, and we have, for example, these little helpful wizard hints. If there's ever something that you need to absolutely do before a mission is completed as a completable piece of content, you'll get a little guide here saying that you have to choose a location. This is what I was mentioning before with the barkeeper, right? Where is your mission going to take place? This overworld map will appear anytime you're map transitioning, so the player will go up to it and say, hey, where do I want to travel next? And if I say my mission is going to be in the mines up in the crags, then they'll have to go over and select, I want to go to the mines in the crags. It's actually really cool because this map, if you're a fan of all of the Forgotten Realms, you've probably seen this so many times, from the old school Baldur's Gate game to the Neverwinter campaign guide which just came out last year, that sort of stuff. Really, really cool that we get to work so closely and have the real Sword Coast in our game. But we're going to make a new mission, and we're adding it to the crags up over there. I will say it's my mission. So one of the things that we're trying to do, we're going into the story tab here, we're trying to present it to the way you get to create your mission in the way that your players are going to experience it, without having to worry about all sorts of crazy technical details, right? So a basic mission that we can think of is you start in that main persistent area, talk to a guy who tells you to go to his house, kill some guys who stole his magic ring or something, and that's what you're trying to get, right? So we'll make that. We'll drag in a cryptic map. We will have you talk with a guy, then you'll go to a different map, then you'll kill some bad guys, and you'll go pick up a thing. And boom, that's your mission.
Looks pretty easy.
And all of that icky technical mission logic that frankly we hire people to do as full-time jobs, the system is just going to take care of you, all of the hookups and everything that you need to do. When you come in here and add mission text, talk to the guard. That's the text that's going to show up in that mission tracker, right? And when you get your notifications like objective complete, that sort of stuff. The fast and easy way to add text to that context, for example, you say, hey, go to my house and get my thing, whatever evocative mission I'm creating right now. But that super advanced way that I was talking about before, if you wanted to get in there, you could do the advanced dialogue editor. Similar to the other editor, you have your library of assets over here. You just kind of drag them over, and you can create some really intense dialogue trees. These button presses here would be, whatever you type into this field is what the player will see as a response if they press 1. If they press 2, maybe the answer is no. And you can change that to be a failure case, something like that. You can also add in, multiple branches of dialogues, and say you wanted to do some sort of discussion puzzle, you can have this one loop back to the top because you answered a question wrong, that sort of thing. We also have more detailed controls here where visibility states, maybe this part of the conversation isn't available until that player's collected a certain quest item or something like that. So again, all of that complexity is there if you want it, but if you're just looking to get in and try something quick, it's like drag and drop and you're ready to go. So as helpful as this editor is, sometimes you just need to walk through things to figure it out. So you can hit play dialogue and you're dropped into our friendly tavern with a guy who looks a little bit like Red Skull, and you gotta just chat him up. And see exactly how your dialogue's playing out, see if you have any endless loops, that sort of stuff, right? Those helpful little things that we as developers learned are pretty important to figuring out and creating good missions. But we'll go back to the editor now and let's see where we left off. We have a guy. Oh, we have to pick which context. So we said we wanted to have it start in a cryptic map, and we're going to have to pick which our contact will be. And here we'll say, you'll be able to browse. There's a young girl, maybe a merchant person, a street rat, but we're going to take this nobleman right here because I think that's where I was last. So we can have, that contact, like I saw before, as our contact to go into our mission. There'll also be all manner of non-person objects that you pick. So if you wanted to do kind of a quirky story about a wizard who enchanted a magic pot, and then that teleported you somewhere weird, you could totally do that using this as well. So we're going to go in and head over to the map, and so to start that, we actually have to make that map. Let's actually make some mission objectives. So to create the map, we just hop over to the map tab, or we could use the wizard if we would have liked. We're going to create this guy. The fast and easy way to make maps, if you'd like, you just take one of our cryptic pre-mades, and we'll have a number of sewers and dungeons and all that sort of thing. You just take that as a template and go from there. But indoor, we're going to do custom indoor map right now because that's just a little bit more fun. So here we are. You see again the same tab. You have your workspace here, and then your library of assets over here. We'll start by dropping down rooms, and you can see the list of all these different rooms. We have caves and crypts and dungeons, interior houses, that sort of thing. You can even browse them in 3D over here and see, oh yeah, I really like that one. Or this sewer looks a little bit creepy. We have search filters and all that stuff to make it even a little bit easier for you if you'd like. But let's just drag and drop some missions down. It's just like connecting Legos, you're drawing things there, that sort of stuff. We actually have a piece of tech called Doors Anywhere, which, if you can guess what that does, it allows you to put doors anywhere. So say you playtest it and you had this here, it'll actually bash a hole through these walls, and you can see here that they don't normally have doors, but it'll attach wherever you need to. And say you playtest, you didn't like it, you move it over there, it'll totally make that work fine. So we'll rotate the room some more, and we'll make a pretty sweet dungeon. Boom. So we have a sweet dungeon now, and we'll, if you look at the previews, they're basically shells, right? We need to go in and detail them. So we have the details tab, and again, thousands and thousands of objects. We have banners and bars, kegs, what is this? A birch tree, benches, you know, all these things that you can go in and put to really decorate your world. And that's similarly just as easy. You drag things on there, put a tree in the middle of this house just because, you do whatever you want to. But say you're not necessarily artistically inclined, or you want to just really fast forward everything, you can right click this and say populate room. And that'll automatically drop down a set of detail objects that is thematically appropriate for that room. We were in a house, so now there's, you know, rugs, a bunch of seats and things like that. But that doesn't mean you're locked into that layout. If you just didn't like that rug for some reason, you know, you just grab the rug and trash it out. And I was really into that tree, so let's go find another tree to put back in my house. Does that make sense? Sweet. So our mission took us from that world to this room, and then we had to kill a guy. So we're gonna drop these critters in here real fast. The cool thing about it is this is a templated encounter. We picked the mixed up standard difficulty. You can imagine going through our list of other NPC groups and say, you know, you wanted Drow, for example. You can go through and find melee, easy difficulty, mixed composition of easy, or mixed composition of hard. And what this allows us to do is grant real rewards for the game, because we're controlling them in this way. You could progress from level 1 to level 60 just by doing other people's missions, because you're getting loot, you're getting experience, you're getting gold by going through these encounters. But though they are templated, you still have quite a bit of control over them, so you can take this formation and move it around if you like. You want to move that actor over there, or have this guy move over here. Or maybe this one is a particular named guy, so we're going to call him a badass baddie. Right? And we want to change his color. Oh, my profanity filter went off because I can't say badass. Bad baddie. So, now we can come into the costume editor and say specifically what do I want him to look like. We have him be a cool pirate or something. Cryptic, we made our name on deep character customization, and you can see we just have tons and tons of different guys here that you can pick from. Again, they totally just work on filters and searching, so you can look specifically for Drow, or maybe you just want an elf. You get this cool little sniper guy. You can see their little animations. So say we like that as our bad guy. That's the simple and easy way to get in there, and again, the hard, or maybe not hard, but the more complex control-y way is you come into the specific costume editor. And we can start messing around with him and say, let's give him a helmet. Oh, where was that? That was sweet. Yeah. You know, let's change that up a little bit. We'll have that be this color. You know, all of the things that you'd expect from feat items. We can make him look super awesome. Yeah. So that's our cool guy now. But even that is still not the limits to the control that you have. If you want to go into advanced mode, and this is where we tell you, hey, you're about to go into some crazy stuff if you want, then you start getting some really, really intense controls where you get all the sliders that you need, and you can start making some really crazy stuff. And I, for the life of me, have never been able to actually make something cool looking. But my artists, you know, people that are really dedicated and motivated to do this, have made like whole new critter groups and all these cool things where they have wolf heads on things, and it looks really, really awesome. And they just want to have it for their specific story, so they're able to save that costume out and use it all across their missions. Right now, we're not going to worry about him. That's not. We'll have that guy be our guy. So now he's on our map as that contact, and I think our story is ready to go for the most part. Let's go and playtest this map. So that's one of those things too that we know, just like the dialogue editor, you can think you have done everything right, but you just have to playtest your mission, right? So we wanted to make it relatively quick and easy for you to pop into any given map, even one that you've just created, test it out a little bit, and you know, that was, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 seconds or so, and we're now here in our map that's been pre-populated with all those house assets. We've got our wonderful trees here, which totally makes sense. But even the rooms, oh, and here's our door. That these doors anywhere, it could have totally been right there if we had so chosen. But I was saying, even the rooms that we've done absolutely nothing to, at least hit a minimum bar of quality in that it looks pretty sweet and it's not like an untextured mess. You didn't have to go through a great hassle to make it at least look like something. And here's my critter groups here, the kobold that I dropped down. There's that guy that I moved over to the back corner, and where's our crazy looking dude? And you can see his name is Big Batty, and he looks like the costume we chose. So all of that stuff happens really quickly, automatically ready to go for you. You notice my mission tracker is updated, and I'm supposed to kill these things. So some of the dev controls we have to make it a little bit easier. If you don't necessarily want to fight everything, you just kill stuff. If you had set up some really complex interactions with visibility states, that sort of stuff, you can just reset the map really quickly to get it back to its default state. But you'll watch as I kill this guy. My mission completes, I get the notification, I have my mission tracker updated, all of that stuff, and just happens automatically. So you're ready to go. You can even see what your loot experience is going to be like. So it's it's a quick touch on editing. The last thing about the consumption end of things is we looked at the old Neverwinter modding communities and found that by this point there's certain authors that are like demigods amongst that community. Everyone knows them and they love them and they're super cool. And we wanted to kind of take it a step further than what those games have done and really provide a platform for these authors. So you'll notice here, prominently featured, it tells you who is the person that wrote that content. It's here as well. You can actually hit more by this author, and every author will have a blog page here that will show what they've done. They have little updates that they can write, so if you're saying, hey, I'm almost done with mission 3 in the campaign, please just bear with me, I'm working on it, that sort of thing. I could also subscribe to the user so that anytime they make an update, I get a little in-game mail telling me that it's ready to play, I should go check it out. I can even donate to them, so say you are the author that I really like, I'll grant you in-game currency saying, hey, keep it up, that was really cool, I like that. So really trying to make these people incentivized to do better, and we'll have some sort of DM rewards where it might be something like if you've made 5-star rated missions, you have a custom or unique border to your name on the forums or something like that, right? All sorts of things like that. So really trying to promote these guys for the work that they're doing to make Neverwinter in general just a better, cooler place.